Of the story, the lawsuit brought by a man being identified only as a John Doe. The question is, did these deputies actually do this, and did their supervisor know about it? Two York County Sheriff's deputies now face increased scrutiny. The Attorney General's office will review the case that involves serious accusations against deputies Michael Hayes and William Vachon in what the lawsuit describes as a rough-em-up incident. In June, the county settled a federal lawsuit filed last year for more than $67,000. In this suit, the John Doe claims Hayes and Vachon showed up at his home, threw him to the floor, cuffed him, and put him in an unmarked police cruiser, all over a dispute about money. Doe claims the officers pressured him to refund $850 as part of a limousine service he provided for the daughter of a former Portland police officer, Joseph Fagone. The county denied any admission of fault in the incident.
Make a motion the commissioner send a copy of the civil complaint that was filed in that case over to the York County District Attorney.
Last month, the county commissioners asked York County District Attorney Catherine Slattery to review the case. Slattery announced today the case needs further inquiry, saying there was a lack of completeness in the information available. She referred it to the Attorney General's office, which she says removes any possible conflict of interest.
Their protection.
Sheriff Bill King previously said he was not sheriff at the time of the incident and could not officially comment, and he would not say whether he knew about the incident. The lawsuit also claims the county never took any corrective action against the officers, and Sheriff King could not find any evidence of an internal investigation. Sheriff King previously told us that these allegations are embellished and that the timing is political because he's running for re-election. Sheriff King was a major in the department at the time of this incident. This document is called a CAD report, a computer-aided dispatch, and it shows that John Doe's family called the department after the alleged incident and reported it. The sergeant at the time writes that he referred the complaints to Major King by voicemail and by email. We asked Sheriff King to share his side of the story, but he refused, citing the ongoing investigation by the Attorney General's office. Lee and Lindsay, we're going to continue to follow this so we get the truth of what actually happened here.
Yeah, feels like there's going to be a lot more information that comes out on this one.
Wait to see what the AG says.
Thank you very much. All right, so outside today, you know,
right.
I mean, it was.
I know.
This was a typical Keith.
Gray skies
meh.
again.
It's kind of a meh kind of day.
It was a 6 out of 10, I guess. I mean, you know, in the middle of winter it might seem better, but we had a lot of clouds, especially over southern Maine. You can see them breaking up. Northern Maine, especially Aroostook County, saw a great day today. That's been kind of the trend, and probably the trend again tomorrow, where the most sunshine will be over far northern Maine. Current temperatures reflecting that. 72 in Caribou, 60s along the coastline. Berlin with a little bit of sunshine at 75 degrees, but we're having a little bit of a hard time breaking through the cloud cover over central and southern Maine, and that's why temperatures stayed down. Dew points in the 60s, so getting a little bit less humid. Yesterday was a strange day because it was not that warm, but it was definitely sticky, and so the humidity staying right around 60 here, which is noticeable but not uncomfortable. Hour-by-hour forecast, maybe an isolated sprinkle over southern Maine, but those die down by the middle of tonight. Now tomorrow, again, a similar day, in that we see more cloud cover over southern Maine, but even southern Maine should be able to clear out by the afternoon tomorrow. Temperatures rise into the mid and upper 70s, even some low 80s possible by tomorrow afternoon. And then Friday looks good. We start with some fog, but Friday afternoon should be mostly sunny and cruising right into the weekend. Guys, the weekend looks good. We'll talk about that and, of course, Florence in a few minutes.
All right, Keith, thank you very much, sir. In the news today, Senator Angus King has made a decision in regard to the next Supreme Court justice.
He tweeted today, Brett Kavanaugh's nomination is one of the most important votes I will take in the Senate, and after carefully studying his record and judicial philosophy, I've decided that I will vote no on his confirmation. You can check out the senator's full statement on the decision to vote by visiting our website or on our mobile app. Senator Susan Collins calling a crowdfunding campaign that urged her to vote against the confirmation of Brett Kavanaugh for a seat on the U.S. Supreme Court a bribe.
The, quote, Be a Hero campaign has raised more than $1 million to fund a future opponent of Senator Collins if she votes yes on Kavanaugh. The money would be returned to donors if she votes no.
And you might remember Governor LePage had a health scare late last month and spent a weekend at the hospital.
Well, we're learning today that he actually was taken by LightFlight from Presque Isle to Bangor. Still very little known about what actually landed him in the hospital to begin with. All that we know is that he was suffering from some type of discomfort while visiting some family in New Brunswick.
He was first taken to a hospital in Presque Isle before spending a couple days in Eastern Maine Medical Center in Bangor, and he was released shortly after. Okay, Hurricane Florence.
Everybody's talking about 2 million people almost are in the Carolinas, and Virginia warned to evacuate. Hurricane Florence is heading towards the U.S. Now in Maine, where we're watching from a safe distance, we tend not to be impacted as much by tropical systems as we are nor'easters.
But Mainers working in emergency management are monitoring Hurricane Florence. The reason why is twofold. One, to learn ways to prepare if it were to ever happen here, and the other reason, a little more personal. It's a quiet day at Cumberland County's 911 center.
We know you're deep into it down there, so we won't keep you long.
But Bill Holmes, the center's director, is concerned for a former colleague and friend.
My friend Tom Brady, not the quarterback, is a retired detective / 911 director for the town of Falmouth, Maine, their police department.
Tom Brady retired from the force and moved from Maine to Myrtle Beach, his new home facing a direct hit.
We're about 5 miles away from the water.
He and his wife were preparing to evacuate as we spoke on the phone.
I'd be lying to you if I told you it wasn't stressful. It is stressful.
Monitoring the storm in Maine is helpful to ease minds of others like Joe Chappell, who used to live in the Carolinas and still has family there. He says it's helpful for another reason, though.
What are they doing on social media? Some of these agencies that are similar to us. So county coastal agencies down in Carolinas, what are they doing? How are they engaging with the public? And how might we replicate that up here?
Specifically, when it comes to making sure in times of disaster, the correct information is shared digitally.
It may or may not be malicious.
They say sharing or retweeting information like shelter locations can be one way to help from afar, but make sure you do your research before.
Help direct them to a verified and trusted source of information so that you're providing them with the correct source.
All right, I appreciate it, Billy. Thank you.
As for Holmes, he'll continue to watch the storm from a safe distance and check in on his dear friend. So the last time Maine felt the impact of a tropical system was Hurricane Bob in 1991, but it was downgraded from a Category 2 by the time it hit Maine. That was before LightFlight existed, and today that agency had a meeting to discuss relief and mutual aid efforts if a storm like Florence were to happen here.
And the Maine National Guard is asking its soldiers and airmen if they want to assist relief efforts after the storm is over. CMP and its parent company are also prepared to offer some post-storm support. So multiple states now in states of emergency before Florence. Now, price gouging laws have gone into effect across the East Coast. The laws are obviously meant to protect people from some unfair costs by gas stations and hotels or other businesses during evacuations and recovery periods.
But how do you actually know if something like price gouging, and what do you do about it? Our Verified team's been working on that and joins us with the answers.
Well, you've heard the term price gouging, defined by Legal Dictionary as unfairly raising the prices, especially during an emergency situation. Imagine going to a gas station during an evacuation. Instead of your normal price, the gas costs 2 to 3 times the normal amount. That's price gouging. And when a state of emergency is activated, it's illegal. Unfortunately, though, it still happens. In Hurricanes Harvey and Irma last year, 48 gas stations in Texas were all charged with price gouging in order to pay more than $160,000 to the victims. Now, the rules do vary state to state. In North Carolina, for instance, they only apply to necessary emergency supplies, things needed to sustain life, health, or safety.
If all they're doing is selling an existing product that they already had in inventory, that is wrong, and they should not take advantage of people's desperation, and that's when we will intervene.
North Carolina Attorney General Josh Stein told us they only know about these situations when people either call them or submit a form online.
Unfortunately, there are always a few out there that try to take advantage of a situation to make an extra buck, and that's not right. And in North Carolina, it's not legal. And my office at the Attorney General's office will hold those folks accountable.
So yeah, with active state of emergencies on the coast, just remember that price gouging is illegal and there are steps you can do to stop it. Now folks, if you have any other questions, send us an email. With your Verify, I'm Jason Puckett. Back to you.
All right, and we want to remind people that we do have crews helping some of our sister stations down in those areas. Clay Gordon, Zach Blanchard arrived in North Carolina this morning.
And our very own Sam York is off to Georgia. She heads out tomorrow. We'll be checking in with them from those soon-to-be storm-stricken areas as the storm develops and approaches, and they help everybody out there get through this. So appreciate their efforts down there, and we'll obviously want to keep them safe.
All right, the latest Nike Just Do It campaign has garnered intense reaction from the public. The Berwick Police Department putting out a Facebook post in response to that ad today.
The post reads, Officer Gallant did believe in something. He actually did sacrifice everything for it 36 years ago. The photo in the post shows the write-up of how Patrolman Robert J. Gallant died while he was in the line of duty.
Gallant was struck and killed by a drunk driver while at the scene of a domestic disturbance just 11 months into the job with the agency. Coming up, we'll tell you about a new way to get a Christmas tree.
It's September. And some police officers are finding new ways to catch people who speed. We will show you coming up. All right.
How's everybody doing?
Judy says any business that does price gouging during emergencies should be shut down by the state. Robert says stay safe in the Carolinas. Look, it's Christina Rex, everyone.
Hey!
Hi, K-Rex.
What's up? I can't get into her.
Dennis never misses a show.
Oh, that's so nice.
Thank you. Todd says keep up the good work. Judy, I'm with you. It's too early for winter. What's up, Deborah? Saying hello to the now peeps and Paul and Jim.
Robert says 104 days till Christmas.
Karen, oh come on.
I'll take your word for it because I'm not counting.
I mean, I love Christmas, but I'm just saying, it's still September. Early September. We're not even quite at mid-September yet.
I know Christina's watching us right now. Maybe she's still watching. Yesterday, I watched her news station at noon, hoping that she would show up like
Did you
for a
catch
live
a glimpse?
report.
Yeah.
I didn't, but I was like, like anytime they were getting ready to toss to the reporter, I was like, this will be it. This will be it. This will be it. And it wasn't it.
So I haven't seen Christina live yet.
Yeah.
But I do have the internet. So I've been watching her stories online.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
Yes, our little flower has grown.
I know.
A little bird
she is missed.
has spread her wings.
And I'm sure you guys miss her stories too.
Yes.
Look it, my screen is frozen on Coco's face.
OMG.
What?
Look right there.
Hey, Peggy.
It's Peggy Kaiser.
Hey, Peggy. What's going on?
Hold on, I need a minute. You don't even know. Peggy Kaiser.
I know. She's a big
star.
deal.
Like
She's
that's
pretty much a big deal.
I'm just saying, like that's not small potatoes. And I love potatoes.
Gary's hoping everybody remains safe with the hurricane.
Yeah, absolutely. J-Bar, do not encourage the whole TV Teddy thing. It's not good.
No.
Oh,
nothing good can come from that.
This story here is really disturbing.
Yeah, this is the
gross.
first. So every morning when I wake up, everyone's got their routine. I read the news right when I get up. And this is the first article I read this morning, and it was not a good way to start the day.
No.
And I'm about to read it again.
This is awful.
A woman has filed a lawsuit against Michigan State University saying she became pregnant after she was drugged and raped by Larry Nassar when she was a medical student in 1992, but the campus police refused to investigate.
The lawsuit was among dozens filed to meet a Monday deadline for legal claims against Michigan State, although the complaint might be too old to qualify for a share of the $75 million set aside by the university for victims who are not a part of the larger $425 million settlement.
Nassar became a sports doctor at MSU and for elite U.S. gymnasts, but now is in prison for child pornography crimes and molesting female athletes with his hands.
Food and Drug Administration Commissioner Scott Gottlieb declared youth vaping a, quote, epidemic. He says that the agency will halt sales of flavored electronic cigarettes if the major manufacturers cannot prove they're doing enough to keep them out of the hands of children and teenagers.
The FDA says it's giving manufacturers of Juul, Vuse, Markton, XL, Blue, and Logic 60 days to submit robust plans to prevent youth vaping. If the agency doesn't think their plans go far enough, it could order their flavored products off the market. Those 5 brands make up more than 97% of the U.S. market for e-cigarettes, according to the FDA.
Kosovo police have started using drones to catch drivers who do not respect traffic laws in an attempt to reduce the high number of casualties.
So far this year, 82 have died and about 8,300 have been injured in the country, with a total population of less than 2 million. Since January, the small Balkan country has introduced a new law that imposes heavy fines on police. It began patrolling with unmarked cars to remain unnoticed.
Any driver caught breaking the law has to pay a fine of up to $350 and actually could have their license confiscated for 6 months. The average monthly gross salary in Kosovo is about $600, so a fine of $350 is obviously pretty hefty.
So I'm really happy Katie Ortiz is tackling this topic in her social stop today, because it's something I saw on Facebook and I was thinking, what? Have you seen it yet?
Not yet, but tell me.
Okay,
I'm
so
intrigued.
Ortiz is already thinking Christmas in her social
We just
stop.
talked about this. Digital Diva, what are you doing? And Keith will hopefully bring us a present for Hanukkah and Christmas. Oh, look. Oh.
Keith, that made me LOL. That was funny.
$6.99.
Is this, so Ortiz, is this a real thing? Is Amazon really going to send Christmas trees?
Don't give it away.
Sorry. We're on Facebook. It's okay. And YouTube.
Yeah, but they still gotta watch.
Plus, Facebookers, if you're on Facebook, you've probably seen it on Facebook too, just like I did.
Yeah, Dodie, again, everybody
It's frozen on you.
down in North Carolina, Robert as well.
Refreshing.
Just obviously our thoughts are with everybody down there, and even with, you know, obviously with our crew, Zach Blanchard and Lindsay's husband, Clay, who's down there, and Sam.
That's okay.
Sam, do you want to talk to the peeps?
Yeah.
Come on around. Sam's actually over there packing up her desk because she leaves us in the morning for Georgia, and then she'll be documenting her trip, and we'll see Sam safely in Georgia tomorrow.
They're talking about the price gouging story today.
So come over here and say hello and goodbye to the viewers.
Hi, Joe.
So, I mean, just in case they don't understand, do you want to just explain to them like what you're doing down there and how you got chosen, and like, you know, why are we going?
So obviously this is huge, very big storm.
You
so
go over here where they can see you.
I don't know. Oh, hey everyone, hey there. Yeah, so I'm going to Macon, Georgia. And obviously this is a huge storm. Our sister stations can't cover everything, so they kind of rally the troops. We go in, and we just kind of help out with the coverage to keep everyone informed down there.
And you'll be staying safe, right? Have you looked ahead and like planned and like are you ready to go?
Yes.
You're hydrating, so that's good.
Yes.
Get your electrolytes, you'll be ready to go.
I'm very excited to go and help. I think it's going to be a really great experience, and I'm excited to keep people informed the whole time and be able to send stuff back to you guys here. So,
So you'll be safe though?
I will be safe.
I want it on the record.
My
You'll be
mom
safe so I
will-
can watch this
yes.
back? Okay, good.
Mom, Dad, I will be okay.
Good.
Promise.
Bye, guys. Bye, Boo. I love you.
Wish Sam
Be
some
safe.
safe travels.
A lot of you guys are saying you have friends in North Carolina.
Katie,
What? He said the lighting looks good.
I'm wearing black too.
Oh, you are also
Let's
wearing those
go.
shoes. Let's go. Shut up.
I'm gonna ad lib a little bit at the beginning here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna ad lib just a little bit before the script. Ironic that this story is next, because this is a conversation I had with my bride today about how excited she is about this next story. So it's
Really?
almost like there have been people listening in the office to my
Aw.
conversations.
Hmm.
Apple unveiled 3 new iPhones on Wednesday, that's today, including its biggest and most expensive model yet, the one she wants. And the company seeks to widen products appeal amid slowing sales. Not in my house.
I think she deserves it.
Oh,
CEO
stop.
Tim Cook showed off the iPhone
Stop.
XS Max, which has a bigger screen than the one on last year's dramatically designed model to take more photos of Finster. The iPhone X, it'll cost about $1,100, topping the iPhone
come on.
10, which you know, at $1,000 seemed jaw-dropping at the time. An updated iPhone 10, now called the XS, stays at $1,000.
I don't know how many jobs I'm supposed to have. The iPhone XR is the cheapest of the three. Woohoo! Checking in at $749.
You know,
not all that cheap in my book. But anyway, before I say anything, I'm well aware it's mid-September and I'm not trying to rush the season here, so don't kill the messenger. But this Christmas, if you're Team Real Christmas Tree, you do not have to brave the cold and the sticky sap this season. That is because Amazon continues to take over our lives and plans to sell and ship fresh, full-size Christmas trees. They say they'll be sent within 10 days of being cut down and should, keyword should, survive the trip. But here's the kicker. They're 7 feet tall, and according to a preview, a Fraser fir from a North Carolina farm will cost $115. Now, we've seen comments from a lot of you at home kind of upset and concerned that this could shake up the industry in Maine, but according to the National Christmas Tree Association, because we have one, only 1 to 2% of the 27 million real Christmas trees sold every year are bought online. So, Lee, Lindsay, Keith, a little doubtful that this will be a real game changer, but
I mean,
again,
come on, Amazon.
I don't like it.
Leave us alone, will you? You know how many tree farms we have in our state that make their livelihood on Christmas season?
The trees will still be cut from somewhere, but
no, but they should be coming from Maine for the Maine tree farmers.
like I like Amazon, I
Just
use
saying.
it a lot, but there's just some things that
I mean,
you shouldn't buy.
I'm all in on Amazon, but Christmas trees, let's
And it's all
give us a
about the
break here.
experience
Like,
of
I want to
picking it
go
out.
and walk around and
Get off
say,
my lawn,
pick that
guys."
one. Or assemble the fake one. Either way.
I bought shorts on Amazon the other day that were too small.
Whoa, whoa. What'd you go, 6 to 9 months?
They were, no, 0 to 3.
I'm letting that process. You're saying your clothes were too small.
I sent it back because they were so small.
What?
Wow.
Are
we recording the show?
Moment of silence for Keith.
Are we recording this show?
Moment of silence for Keith.
But you know what? Nobody wants to see it. So.
Yeah, clearly some already have.
Let's go with the radar here. Take the shower, so it's not mainly. Can't bring you anywhere. This is satellite showing some clouds over the southern part of the state as well. Northern Maine is relatively clear. That's the story of the next 24 hours. Southern Maine still has more clouds than northern Maine. Our viral forecast tonight, temperatures in the 60s, drop briefly into the 50s at times, but through the day tomorrow, southern Maine still has more cloud cover as opposed to central and northern Maine. Basically, north of Augusta, it's a totally different day. We should be able to burn those off by the afternoon all the way down into Portland and Sanford. See a little late day sunshine there. After that, we end up with nice weather for Friday. Morning fog burning off to sunshine through the middle of the day, and Friday afternoon and into the weekend looks great. High pressure in place for the weekend, so we'll call it partly cloudy both days, but warmer, upper 70s to around 80 degrees on Saturday, and then Sunday could be in the low 80s away from the coastline. A couple of showers in the mountains, but most of us in good shape through the entire weekend. So we're kind of just coasting. Temperatures get a little bit warmer, and it's generally pleasant. Meanwhile, of course, the story is Florence, and we'll show you that in a second. Forecast high temperatures on Sunday, bouncing back to summer levels, 80 in Portland, 83 in Lewiston. It could be up to 85 in Freiburg, right around 82 in Bangor. All right, here's a look at the visible satellite. This is Florence. It is still a very strong storm system, Category 3, high-end Cat 3. As it moves in, it will make landfall as a Category 3 sometime probably late Thursday night into Friday, but then it lingers along the coastline for a couple of days before it moves inland, and that could be the devastating effect of Florence, the amount of time it sits and spins with storm surge and rainfall amounts that could be well over 2 feet in spots. So I think this is going to be a big, big storm. Of course, you already knew that. Meanwhile, here in Maine, there's actually a high surf advisory because of Florence, and that is in effect tomorrow through tomorrow night. So the waves from Florence kicking all the way across the ocean into Maine, surf height of 4 to 6 feet. I don't think a ton of people would be at the beach, so it shouldn't be a big deal. Again, the weekend looks pretty good. Warmer, 80 to 83 inland, upper 70s along the coastline, and then maybe 80 or so on Monday. we will deal with some form of what Florence used to be, either on Tuesday night or Wednesday. Shouldn't be a huge deal. Could just be some rain. So it's obviously a big storm. We'll keep an eye on that for you.
Okay. Will that surf get high enough around here? Because our surfers love
4 to 6
the storms.
Decent, and tomorrow will be a nice enough day to give it a shot. But that should be it for surf for us.
We had that great picture from Wells. Did you see
yeah,
that on our
the
Facebook
wave,
page,
yeah,
News Center Maine Facebook page?
All right, sir.
Crazy.
Thank you.
A lot more coming up on News Center Maine at 5:30. Let's check in with Cindy Williams for a preview. Hey, Cindy.
Hi, guys. Maine is an aging state, and our nursing, the people who are nurses in this state are aging as well. As a result, we are facing a serious crisis in the number of nurses. Some pretty dire statistics out there. We're going to tell you what the University of Maine system is doing to try to fix this problem before it gets worse. And a decades-old monument that had to be taken off public display is now back out there, and there's a story behind that. Those stories and more ahead at 5:30. Back to you.
All right, Cindy, thanks so much. Brain drops when we come back. So I think some of the, like the, what's the dummies, the mannequins that they do like CPR training on?
Yeah, okay.
I think that was one of those things.
Yeah. I just wasn't expecting to see that. Like I'm watching it.
Lee and I are both like, what is that? And you probably had that reaction at home too. But I think that's what that is.
Keith, I've got to email you my brain drops. I really want the answer.
John says Keith may have ordered the kids' shorts.
Well, that's why I said 6 to 9 months. I was talking about the size.
They were.
Oh.
They were snug.
That was like 10 minutes ago. You're just getting that?
I know. Getting back to our Amazon tree discussion.
Yes.
I love it on here. Someone says, we are the pine tree state. Why would anybody go anywhere else for a tree?
I can't imagine getting
Josiah says that.
I mean, if you live in a place where they're not accessible, I guess
Small.
I could see it. It just seems weird from our state to have that.
Gather the family around the laptop. Let's pick out a tree.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you live in a place that isn't as plentiful in trees like where we are, like maybe it makes sense. Just around here, it seems foolish.
Elspeth is watching from Canada. Thanks for watching. Ooh, generous.
So I want to email you this. I saw a video of where the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean
there
meet.
you go. I was going to help you.
And they touch. They're different colors, but they don't intermingle. Like they don't mix. There's a clear divide of the Pacific and the Atlantic. And some guy says he took a video of it, and he's claiming this is where the two oceans meet. But they don't bleed into each other. Like it's almost like there's a wall there, an invisible wall that separates the seas as the two different colors touch, and there's a line.
I never heard of it.
It's a really cool video.
Yeah,
it's been seen hundreds of millions of times. I'm wondering if it's legit.
Yeah. All right, I'll look into it. Yeah, I'd never heard of that. But
I just saw it the other day, and it wasn't even new. It had been around for a
there
year
are
or so.
places where like the freshwater and saltwater meet, and that's cool.
But they should both be both be saltwater though.
Yeah, this guy was saying that the Atlantic and the Pacific, this is where they meet.
Where would they meet? Down like south of South America?
Oh, no,
yeah, I'd have to find
I'm not going to listen to time cues, and I'm not going to talk very much because this is about to fall, and I would rather have it just fall right now. Sorry.
A little aggressive.
Sorry.
Great that you bought it. Stand by.
Oh boy.
I didn't know how much time we had.
It's okay, Lindsay. I got it.
All right, this is unfortunately near and dear to my heart right now because I've been fighting Luca's little kid germs.
Oh.
And they just came out with this new study where they went through and they gave people placebo, and then they gave them actual cough suppressants, different kinds. And they found that it didn't really suppress many coughs. So the point of this whole thing is it worth it in general to put cough suppressants in different cold medication? And furthermore, they made the argument about what's the real value of medicating colds in general. Like there's something that we're not improving it. We're just trying to mask symptoms with a bunch of medication. But I thought that was interesting because I have never noticed that it worked too well for me. Like right now I have a cough, and if I take something, it's still there. But if you don't like medication, you like to keep it natural, this might be some. I don't like all the stuff that's in some of those.
Well, there's a couple of schools of thought, depending what you do. Like if you have to go to work, masking it might work for you because you just got to get through the day. You know you're not going to cure you, but you'll get you to where you need to go.
Right.
And the other, it's a cold. It's going to run its course.
It's going to be 7 days.
You can do about it.
NyQuil works because it knocks you out.
And then you get that good night's sleep.
That has a value in and of itself. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of things put me to sleep around here. Not you.
Like brain drops?
Not you.
He didn't say not me.
News Center 5:30 is coming up next.
Bye, guys.